Welcome on in, ladies and gentlemen, for Game 3. This would be in the Shiny League finales. Yes, these are the grand finals, and we're at best of 3 with Team TTV. That's, for some reason, a mouthful. With one game right now under their belt, one win. But also, in Game 2, Team Shiny pulling out that victory. So with 1-1, we have to have a winner right now. So this will be for all the marbles. And I have with me, ladies and gentlemen, you've been commentating with me on the other 2 games. That's going to be Nekkra. So please say hi to the people.
Hello, everybody. Super excited to be back for game number 3 of this grand finals. Oh man, competitive Pokemon Unite. There's just something about it that gets me really excited about how this game is going to evolve. I can't wait to see what these teams do, especially knowing that they are 2 of the best in North America. So let's go ahead and see what they got.
You're definitely right, and also just we can all address the obvious, right? Is that Pokemon Unite going to Worlds, hopefully will bring this into a new world, if you want to be cheesy, I guess, right here. But kind of our main differences right now is that we're going to see Team Shiny. They are going to go back to Orange, in the second game we were spectating them on Purple. So again, just to not be jarring for viewers, we will be back with TTV as Purple. But as far as the Pokemon they've chosen, Rin is actually going to make the decision to go back to Garchomp. The thinking on this is, you could probably make a lot of conjecture about that. It's just, they did actually get that victory, though, in Game 2. It was a little bit of a Zapdos play, so it may not be entirely based on what the team comp was, in its entirety. But we're also seeing that Elo chose the Pikachu, so it might be with the combination of Pikachu. Maybe Rin himself thought, like, hey, I'm going to change to Garchomp right here instead of Venusaur, which is what he was in Game 2.
Well, I think the crowd control effects of Venusaur and Pikachu just go hand in hand with each other super nicely. So I do see this team synergy behind why that choice might have been made. But great to see these 2 teams already start securing objectives. And you can see that Team Shiny, they're not letting up this time. They really want to try to put the pressure onto these members of TTV to make sure that they don't get too insurmountable of a lead that they have been able to get in games 1 and 2.
And you could describe TTV as the juggernauts, right? And so how do you take down a juggernaut? Well, you do put on that early pressure, and you have to find out the ways to pick off their players. I mean, it's really hard to best them in 5-on-5 squad fights. And so if you can pick off players one by one with any kind of advantage that you can find, that can be really helpful. We do have the first Combee and Vespiquen combo right now on the screen, and it looks like TTV, there was a little bit of, competition for that, but certainly these bottom lane members of TTV did secure a lot of those KOs.
Yeah, you could see that Eldegoss was able to level up there, so Indy Bear, with that wonderful Hollowware, going to be able to show us everything that support Pokemon has got. But a nice KO there, able to secure the KO onto Faz as well. So Zug getting those back-to-back KOs, really going to help put them ahead when it comes to just getting those experience points and leveling up.
And Nekkra, you actually pointing out Faz, that was another maybe interesting, as we do see Retsu, unfortunately going to be KO'd right there, was getting the movement speed up. You thought maybe that escape was going to happen right there, but Faz is actually going to be making the switch as well. We saw Faz playing Slowbro, and so the thinking probably going with Wigglytuff is like, hey, we do need that maybe tanky character. Slowbro would fit the bill, but in this case, we have Zugra going up against us. We're going to kind of mirror match this a little bit. It's not in its entirety, but possibly mirroring that. And so we're going to see if this does pay off for Faz, specifically down here on this bottom lane going up against TTV. Can you out Wigglytuff the Wigglytuff, right?
Yeah, absolutely. It looks like Zug might be getting a bit of the upper hand coming in here with a double slap coming through. But yeah, I'm sorry, Dr. K, you shouldn't have invited me to do this if I'm going to make terrible jokes like that.
Well, you've already heard what I've been doing to Worlds, a new world. Yeah, so I mean, we are birds of a feather on that one. I mean, who says that, right? Birds of a feather. Like, nobody says that anymore either, so I'm right in there with you.
Talonflame. Sorry.
Yes.
I'll stop. I promise.
Yeah. Okay, so anyway, we do have the, after that, we do have the Dreadnought right here on the map right here. Both objectives, we should say, of course, being that these are the first objectives on the map. And so Dread already at that lower than 50%, and that was a quick burst. TTV going to secure that.
This has been a pretty big pattern for TTV when it's come down to these grand finals. TTV just being able to secure that Dreadnought each and every time. And those shields obviously going to help bolster that confidence from TTV to go and secure a bunch of knockouts onto Team Shiny and just continue to score those points and get closer to breaking some of these goal zones.
It's so true. I mean, very, very good at securing those objectives, but that's, it's got to worry you if you are Team Shiny because, again, we mentioned this at the top of the match, but like they really do need to put pressure on anywhere and everywhere. It's like you cannot falter right here. If there was ever a time to be perfect, I know it's hard, but going up against that Juggernaut TTV, but hey, at least we have Ren right now kind of soloing that objective of Rotom, but could get stolen at the last second. No, will still secure that. So very nice securing that from Ren, who is level 10 right now, which is good, of course, but we are seeing a matchup from Goof and Toon as Cinderace right there, who is now going to be level 11 on TTV, so kind of stacking up here still.
Yeah, Goof going to go ahead and get taken out there as Zug tries to come in and save the day, but looks like there is going to be a bit of a reset there as we do get those respawns, but now looks like Faz is going to be in a bit of trouble here, where we got Toon and Lutano now just trying to keep up the pressure and break these goal zones.
And this was a point of Game 1 a little bit, but to discuss the changes of Lucario, one thing that Lutano especially, we did often see that he would run the score shield with that Lucario play, and this would have been an instance where that actually would have helped him out, but going to be taken down, so that was very nice turnaround from Team Shiny. I definitely love to see that, but I was just going to finish that thought with Lucario, was looking to score the 40 points in right there and kind of was halfway there already until becoming contested. And so without that score shield, obviously you're sacrificing it for other items that are going to help you, but the point is just that would be the opportunity to score in maybe something like that, and it could have really put them over the edge. Although, look, they are ahead by 50 points at this moment.
Yeah, but that's a little bit of a, that's less of a gap than what they typically have in the early game for at least games 1 and 2 that we've seen so far. And if you take a look at this team fight right now, Team Shiny coming in, but with all of those slows coming through from TTV, that looks like it's going to be another Dreadnought going to them. But Dr. K, this is where I feel like, yes, TTV is great at securing these objectives, but what about that Zapdos? Seems to be the most important deciding factor, at least between these two teams in this grand finals. And they haven't been able to get it.
You're right. That certainly opens you up if you are the team that is behind for that come from behind victory. And so it may be what Team Shiny, it may be what it has to come to. You are right, of course, that the score gap was not huge, but we are starting to see it become a little bit wider in TTV's favor. And this is the thing about Pokemon Unite, and especially from your and my perspective, Nekkra, and viewers at home, just as we're thinking about something and just as we're seeing it transpire on screen, as it's unfolding, something could already be happening, right? So as I'm talking about Garchomp, for instance, taking this down, that Rotom's already going to be taken, and then something else is going to be happening on the match, so it's very fast-paced, right? Especially to have just 10-minute games, that means we're in that early, middle, late game very quickly, transitioning each time.
Yeah, absolutely. And that means that the entire state of the game is constantly in flux. You have no idea whether or not, for instance, TTV is going to keep this Eos Energy lead, because in that first game, yeah, they were able to keep it, but subsequent games, Team Shiny has been able to close that gap, especially in those last 2 minutes. So while it looks like TTV might be ahead, we have no idea what's happening right now on the top lane. Looks like Team Shiny is kind of getting set up for something.
Unfortunately, they will lose Faz, but definitely very good. Like we say, if you can pick off some members of TTV, you want to try to maybe do that individually if you can, find them. Sort of like it's almost like the Animal Kingdom, I think of it. You try to pick off maybe the one that is going to be weaker because they'll be all by themselves, right? And so that is one way you can kind of take on the Juggernaut of TTV. Certainly there are other ways that maybe players much better than myself would think of, but the idea here is just how can we do this? Because TTV obviously is stacking up to be, they're looking very good as we enter that final stretch. So it's very easier said than done, let's say.
Yeah, absolutely. But again, this is where everything has changed. These last 2 minutes, that spawn of the Zapdos, whoever catches it, is going to be in a great position to score that Eos Energy in the end. And when you can see that basically everybody has a full bank right now, That's going to be a lot of points in this final stretch. But
Yeah.
not going after that Zapdos quite yet. You can see Team Shiny is kind of positioned in such a way that they're playing it a little bit more defensively, kind of waiting for TTV to make the first move, maybe to come in for that steal, or just to have that team fight happen somewhere else.
Right, so many different things could happen at this moment, and what we noticed actually from Rin specifically, if we want to point that out, is he was going back to get the buffs from jungle. That's okay to do, it's just you do worry, of course. Let's say TTV had taken that as their chance to just completely burst down that Zapdos, and they could have done it quickly. We know this team. There's going to be the Unite move, so this is where it could change. Right now, we're actually seeing some members also in the middle are going to possibly be going for Zapdos, but at least go for those team fights that are so crucial in this moment.
Yeah, ooh, back-to-back knockouts there coming through onto Team Shiny, and with a huge Unite coming in from Faz, though. Is that going to be enough to turn the tides?
It's looking very dangerous because you're seeing these, what a goal is right from TTV right now. Now Faz will actually try for that 40, going to be interrupted at the last second. So that would have been devastating for sure, but we're noticing now, Toon is going to get that KO. Nice little juke right here from Wigglytuff, but without, again, a score shield, or maybe you use your Unite and that Buddy Barrier, which probably I don't believe Faz has, because I think we saw that being used earlier. So really, there's not a lot of options. Just going to try to score in those goals and then try to stop Lutano, who's putting that pressure on. So looking very good for TTV right now, right?
Absolutely looking good for them, and it looks like Team Shiny just fighting their way towards those goal zones, but every goal zone stands, Dr. K. I think we know exactly which team this grand final win is going to.
I think you're absolutely right, but let's go ahead just for to let the scores play out, right? So there it is, 458 in favor of TTV to Team Shiny's 54. Unfortunately, really one-sided, right, in Game 3. But congratulations to TTV, who are going to be the Grand Finals winners here in the Team Shiny finale tournament matchup right here in Pokemon Unite. Wonderful play overall. So if you did not see Game 1 and Game 2, please go back to see those. And we were joined by Nekkra for those as well. And so thank you so much. It has been an absolute honor to commentate by your side. Please let the people know where we can find you one last time here.
Well, hopefully you'll get a chance to see me at more of the Pokemon World Championship Series. I've been a VGC commentator for a long time, and I can't wait to see what competitive Unite is able to bring to the World Championship circuit. So that's where I hope people will find me. I hope I see you all there at the Pokemon World Championships.
Wonderful, absolutely. So thank you so much again to Nekkra, and of course to the viewers at home. Click an end screen on screen if you haven't yet seen another matchup, and thanks for viewing.